Good evening and welcome back to yet another session of Smell the Beans. I am Priyanka Bhatnagar and I go live every night at 9 p.m. on my YouTube channel, which is Born to Win with Priyanka Bhatnagar. And I shall be doing these talks till the 20th of Jan. So what is the topic today? And before that, why is it dark? I just when I was setting up this place for the recording, I just liked first of all the ambience that this has created, because I want the focus to be on me and some of the books that I shall show. What is the topic for today? The topic is reading, and more specifically the writers and poets who have influenced my thoughts or my what should I say, my decision making over last many years, ever since a child. And we all know that reading is a very good habit, right? And it only grows with age if you catch on to it at a young age, at a young age. And we all should inculcate reading in our books. In fact, we should have done it as individuals as well when we were growing up. And I know many people, many of my friends who are voracious readers, and it kind of creates a good ambience when we sit down and we want to discuss certain things. So as I said, that reading is a habit which is developed over the years, and it changes the kind of writers you kind of you read at each point of your life will be different. So what I did was I have broken this session into three different genres of writers. I have also included poets because some poets have influenced my thought process, my emotional quotient a lot. And within each genre, I have tried to highlight 5 books or authors who have influenced my thoughts or my character personality in a way. It was very difficult because you then think, oh, this is also there, that is also there. So since for the last 2-3 days I've been trying to look up and down and scan my memory, who are the ones I have read, who I haven't read. I shall also spend the last 1 minute talking about the writers I want to read this year and or the books that I want to capture this year. Okay, so the first genre of writer has been who I started reading on very early in my life are basically the classical writers. I have been hugely influenced by classical, both novelists as well as poets. And probably because of my upbringing, and I was brought up in the northeast of India, where there was a lot of influence of English writers, and in fact, to that extent, I grew up in a Roman Catholic school, and so even our third language used to be English. So there was a lot of focus and attention given to prose as well. So in that context, Charles Dickens is one novelist, classical novelist. I know his stories are a little complicated. Sometimes they can be little myriad, little depressive, but I have been hugely fascinated. And one book which is my all-time favorite from Charles Dickens is The Great Expectations. And then obviously there is Oliver Twist. After that, Jane Austen, and she was a very women-centric writer, as we all know. So two novels from Jane Austen, and they have also been translated to movies, very popular Hollywood movies, which is Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, and of course her all-time popular The Emma, right? I have also been influenced by poets in my early on school life, student life. So one poet is William Wordsworth. So those who are into poetry, and if you research about William Wordsworth had a mystical character called Lucy. So many people say that Lucy is also linked to his own personal life, and it was his his lady love. It was not a mystical character, but whatever it is. All his poems, if you get into the synopsis, if you get into the not the description rather. So basically, when you start researching more about the background of his poems, it all refers to a lady. So William Wordsworth, Robert Frost, and Stopping by the Woods on a Dark Snowy Night. So that's the woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. I think many of us have read this in our school days, and very popular poem, and it has a very profound meaning. So this is my fiction and classical list. Then comes the list of management writers or CEOs, autobiographies, or biographies of CEOs, which the kind of books which has influenced my professional career. And most of this are not new books. I have in fact not read some of the new ones. I have not been very regular in reading, this much I can tell you, because of the advent of Google and everything that you Google and you read. But I used to read a lot early on in my career. So apart from the management motivational book, right, the 1 Minute Manager, and obviously the books by Robin Sharma, but 5 books that I feel have been my all-time favorite in terms of the work that those CEOs did in their lifespan and how they transformed companies. First one, I could not find the book in my library. I had that book, but probably I would have given it to someone and I couldn't recollect, is the Why Elephants Can't Dance. And this is the book of the turnaround of IBM by Louis Gerstner. I read it way back in 2005 or 2006, and phenomenal. It was just a phenomenal book in terms of what he did to IBM. The second book is, I have it here, an autobiography of Lee Iacocca, the man who turned around the automobile company called Daimler, and the person who actually gave Henry Ford a run for his money. Please do read this book, if you have it. And then the other book, the third book is, we all know that McDonald's was founded by the McDonald brothers, but how it became the McDonald's of today, which is one of the largest franchisee and most successful franchisees in the world, the credit goes to somebody called Ray Kroc, who actually took over the franchisees from the McDonald's brothers. Now, I know there is a lot of history behind it as to what was right, what was wrong. If you leave all of that behind and just read the book Golden Arches, I had that book, that's another book I couldn't find in my library, but please do read the Golden Arches on what he did to the brand. I mean, how he built the brand, the Golden Arches, The fourth book is, again, those two books, fourth and the fifth books, I could not find it. One is Cold Steel, the ArcelorMittal, or the Mittal takeover of the Arcelor Steel, the Luxembourg-based company. Please read the book to understand how Lakshmi Mittal thinks and his strategies and his charisma. I mean, I remember the first few pages when he was announcing the takeover and it was not made public, and he had to announce it to the where the CEO of Arcelor did not know that there is going to be a takeover bid. Phenomenal. And it looks like a typical Hollywood movie. Very well written book. So please get hold of that book if you like such stories of takeover. And the last is Andy Grove's book, Only the Paranoid Survive. Very good book on strategy, how that gentleman who moved across continents and went and settled in the USA and then set up a corporation named Intel. So these have been, I mean, there are a lot more in management. I not only management, finance, investing. I really like this writer Jim Rogers. So I've read some of his others books, but this happens to be one of the best, where he goes around the world in a car, and just to understand how each country's economy operates and what makes investing in each country different and what are the modalities, how to understand the philosophy of investing in the stock markets of each country. Phenomenal book. And then he has one more book, which is, this is where he does the tour by car, and there is one more where he does it by bike, but please do read his book. So I have that. I didn't take it out. Okay, and yeah. This is one more book. I'm sorry, I was supposed to say 5, but just another edition, Made in Japan. Akio Morita, just to understand how fundamentally strong this gentleman was and what a brand he made with the Walkman, the Sony Walkman. Now coming to the third category, which is the motivational books, or books on history and cultures and how it influences our thinking. So there again, 5 writers or books which have, again, I couldn't find some of them, but one of my all-time favorites, which is always at my bedside, and whenever I need to refer to something, I go back to this book. So I never finished reading this book, is Autobiography of a Yogi. And I didn't know about this gentleman, Yogananda Paramahansa, till I bought this book, And incidentally, after I bought this book and I started reading, I also learned that in our Guru Mandala, he is also a part of the Guru Mandala. The philosophies that he teaches is also something that Mohanji follows. But it was just coincidence, but yes, it is my go-to book. Then, okay, I have some more here. No. So the other books are not with me right now. Yeah. So another writer, Elif Shafak. So I know this is more of fiction, but why Elif Shafak? Because Elif Shafak is the writer, due to her I learnt about Rumi and I got hooked onto Rumi. So I don't know whether I like her more or Rumi, but in the last 6-7 years, I have really, Rumi is another poet or mystic I go to whenever I have some confusions in my mind, and I look through his quotes and his writings. So this is the second one. Then there is Sapiens, my go-to book whenever I have doubt of why we behave in a particular way. Please do read the book Sapiens. Think Like a Monk, one of the recent books that I've read, a very young writer, Jay Shetty. But the way he has used the knowledge of Gita and Buddhism to translate into day-to-day things that one can do and improve your awareness and consciousness, phenomenal. Very simple to read, very good English, in the sense that very simple English, but with actions and with illustrations. Please do read Think Like a Monk. And the last is I follow Mohanji, and therefore I read a lot of his blogs. I have read some of his books, and there is The Power of Purity, and his recent book, which is on my to-read list, is The Mast. And so his philosophy is also of the Dattatreya tradition, and those who like to follow this or those who are interested, please do read up his blogs. Now, one writer who might, like I said, there are some writers I still haven't read, and one of them who really intrigues me is Simon Sinek. I know he's a huge social media influencer. I do follow him on social media, but this year I have made a goal to read his books. And there was one more. Okay, yeah. There is this lady I want to share. I mean, I know many of you will not know about her, but she's one of the greatest scientists in the world today on animal husbandry, and she is also one of the, what should I say, senior most autistic individuals in the world today. And there are many books that she has written about autism and its linkages to how your brain is wired and what are the things an autistic individual can do. So people on the spectrum, what they can do and what they cannot do. This is one of her best books because it just tells you the philosophy behind an autistic brain. And she being on these, she being on the spectrum herself, some of the experiments to understand the brain she has conducted on herself, and then she has written. Phenomenal lady, very, very inspirational, and do kind of read it up if you're looking for inspirational from within, what one person can do in one's lifetime. Okay, so these were my set of books, and I think I will, with this, I will end the show. Do write in, tell me some of the writers that you want to read, or some things that you have read which probably I haven't, and it would be good to exchange the notes. So with that, have a good night, smell the beans, and see you on another session. Bye-bye.